Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to F1 Manager, episode number 22. Cash is tight. We only have $5 million, and it's been a struggle. We've come really close to going into debt a couple times here recently. We've got to keep pushing because I'm starting to feel like our job is in jeopardy right now. The smooth sailing that was expected for this season of a 9th or 10th place finish is anything but, and we are really struggling to get results lately. The car is very weak compared to everybody else, and we've made some upgrades that is closing that gap a little bit, but we can beat one or two cars, three cars, one DNF, but we can't seem to beat other teams. We can't seem to beat both of their drivers. That being said, of course, we've been focusing on next year's car, the next gen, and trying to get competitive for that, and we've done 3 mega projects. We need to get 3 more mega projects, and I'm not sure how we're supposed to do that with the limit hours that we're going to have. We're not going to cover the ground that we need to cover. Realistically, I think we're going to get 4 mega projects in, and then the front wing and the rear wings, I'm just going to have to upgrade this season, and then take a hit, take a loss, and hope that some of that ground that we cover on that will at least lessen the punishment into next season. So that being said, as tight as cash is, we really need to get our next design done. And like I said, I'm focusing on the wings for that one. We just finished a rear wing design. I can't even manufacture it yet. We have such limited space. The suspension is still sitting on 2, and I can't do anything with that one at the moment. But front wing, I can start another design. It's not going to be done until pretty late in the season, but right now it's the best way forward because, we don't have the hours, and at least we can get some gains with shedding the weight, of course, being a part of that. And as this is going to be like the very end of the season, I think I can really make that extra push. Yeah, this time around it's looking pretty marginal on what we're going to get, but 3% is 3%. It's a gain that we really can't afford to sit on any longer. Singapore, a race I'm optimistic about. We're going to enter the final quarter of the season now, so Otakovan's going to have fresh components again one final time now or in the very near future, potentially on what the next race is yet. But Sainz, another win, another fastest lap. Hamilton somehow DNFs on the final lap of the race with Leclerc half a minute down, Albon 53 seconds down, and Hamilton can't finish the last lap. Clearly, there's some sort of incident. I would be, most certain that it involves someone in the top 3, as they were the last, they were the only cars on the lead lap. Sonoda, Pourchaire, Lawson, so a lot of guys who aren't normally in the points got in the points today. I was optimistic that we could maybe do something with Otakoven as quality of driver, as Singapore is very much a driver's track. And we have Otakoven 11th and Vinter 13th for that matter, each 2 laps down, but that is a great team result right there. And we have beaten both Williams, we've beaten both McLarens. Gio was 21st, Magnussen was out and last. We beat both Kick-Saubers, both Alpines, both Williams, both McLarens. That is a fantastic result. Second best of the season. But with everybody having scored points this year, 1 point doesn't cut it, and 11th doesn't really do us any good. We've got to score points if we're going to beat anybody. And that was one of our last opportunities to do so. So I'm pretty worried about us finishing 11th still. But a couple good race results like that one will go a long way to helping us maintain our job. And Otakoven has leveled up. She's an 88 overall now. Strong performance. That makes sense. Amazingly, it's taken probably 4 months to push this deal over the line. No joke, maybe even longer. Sophia Florsch joins us as our second affiliate. The first one's gone, so I guess our first affiliate driver. The only one in the pool, anyway, for us right now. 3-season deal, $540K yearly, $52K on the signing bonus, so very small on that part. And again, this is getting the free agents first and foremost. It doesn't matter if they're on other teams. On other teams, they're going to get development. We only have 2 race seats we care about. We're not going to actually make them develop any faster than anybody else is because our facilities are low. So free agents is where my priority is. We have finished our level 2 of the wind tunnel. That's going to go a long ways to helping us develop a bit more than what we've been able to do so far. And we've made some definite progress this season in those facilities and those upgrades. And if we survive this season with our job and you get the big reset next season, obviously everything's still going to take a bit of a hit. We're not going to recover at all, which means the base point for the car with some upgraded facilities should be, as long as they aren't poor in condition by the start of next season, and we've done a lot of those upgrades in recent times. If the facilities are okay condition-wise, I could see us developing the car pretty rapidly, and certainly with hours to spare, as we're going to finish last this season. With hours, you would think we should be able to do pretty well with that next season. Driver development update into October. All of a sudden we're down to 3 months to go. We're going to have to start focusing on putting some money away for the next year's car development so that we don't have a January 1st debacle like we did this last year. And I don't feel like I can sit on any of that cash. How the heck are we supposed to do this? Anyway, Vinter, +1 in adaptability, +1 in overtaking, and same for Otokovic, except for it's a +2 in the adaptability. Catching up, they're both in 89 now. The end of the sponsor plan results in another $5.5 million. The cushion is very small right now, but I did 3 events this time to keep it above. Should be easy, as I think we're heading into the last period now. With the extra wear and tear of a sprint weekend and a number of sprint weekends down the stretch to wrap up the season, I went ahead and postponed Otokovin's new parts and, well, actually Vinter's for that matter as well, as we set up our final home stretch, final 5 races to come. Sainz with another victory and fastest lap, and with Ferrari only getting 1 car in the top 10, this is going to give Red Bull a bit of a shot at the constructors and the drivers for that matter. I need to check in on kind of how everybody's doing in those departments. It's been a while. We've got 5 races to go, so we'll see. Both Haas cars in the points though, and Lawson finishing 4th. It's got to be a career best for him, right? Otokoven gets 15th, a lap down. Vinter is 21st, so we only get 450k in bonus. Gio was last, but finished, but was also well off the pace. So probably a very early first 3 laps incident that just saw him be off the pace throughout the day and drop towards the back over time, but only finish a lap down, right? Not be horrible, but be just bad enough to be at the back. Kicksauber only ahead of 1. We are ahead of both Alpines. Okay, so we do beat a single team today. It's a 10th place right now. That's kind of what we need, is to just try to not finish last each race. Over the last 5, if we can limit that to just 1 or 2 of those occasions, I think we'll be okay to save our job. I hope. Please. Drivers. Sainz leads. No surprise there. And actually, it's a huge lead. I mean, he's over 150 points ahead. With 5 races to go, Sainz, if he didn't win at this race, he's going to have that wrapped up here very soon. I suppose he wouldn't have it wrapped up just yet. 1 more race and he will. No, he would have that wrapped up now. Yeah, he would. He would. So I think he just won it today. Leclerc, 2nd. Hamilton, 3rd in the championship. And then Piastri is Tsunoda. Down at the bottom end, Magnussen has yet to score a point this season. Same with Vinter. Alonso has only scored 1. Otokoven has scored 1 and has outraced Alonso, but not Ricciardo. So we still sit behind the Alpine team. And the constructors, it's an 8-point margin. Ferrari, with the gap nearly cut in half this race by Red Bull. Mercedes is definitely well out of it now. It was looking like it could be a 3-horse race pretty early in the season, but very much not at this stage. Mercedes has given up a lot of pace. They had a win. They've had 6 podiums, but McLaren has done more than them lately and closed the gap on them and now sit just 29 points behind. I think that's going to be an interesting battle. So a big battle for 1-2, battle for 3-4. I think Aston Martin's probably a little too far behind. They're not scoring very frequently these days. But Williams, definitely a challenger. But probably too far behind Aston Martin to do much in just 5 races. Haas also breathing down their neck, but those two well clear. RB still scoring points, and Kick Sauber have scored points recently, but not a ton. Still just 18. Probably just a lock for 9th, where we could maybe beat Alpine. We've had our fastest pit stop of the year with a 2:3:39 for Oudekouwen. As far as I know, that's the first 2.3 that we've had. I don't remember seeing any others. If I did, it was, like 2:38, 2:39. Plenty of 2.4s. I mean, our average is supposed to be in that neighborhood, so ones that are worse. We do have a great relationship between Oudekouwen and her race engineer, and maybe, just maybe, that's contributing to why her pit stops are generally faster. They do see more mistakes than Winter does. Our factory could be in a spot of bother soon. The conditions down to 54%, but for now the effectiveness still at 97. 7 million for the would-be upgrade, but the simulator is now below that 50% threshold. The effectiveness has fallen away like it did with the wind tunnel, and it's the same story. $10 million. This is going to be the last big investment that I'm planning for this year, that we might get an operations upgrade or two. From this point forward, though, I think we're going to have to hang on to level 2s and a couple level 1s, or a few level 1s, being where we've managed to get things so far this season. Our staff departments are in sad shape. The operations are in even worse. Getting these things back up to full effectiveness will be one of our short-term keys, especially the boardroom. That race confidence gain is something we are not benefiting from much right now. There's one more level to go on that. It's only $2.5 million to make that upgrade happen. We might be doing that as kind of our last upgrade of the year, except for maybe the hospitality. What's that one looking at? $2.8 million to upgrade. Yeah, neither one of those are bad compared to what we've been spending this year on facilities on the car development side. Mexico City, Science, another win. Comfortably ahead, almost half a second, 30 seconds overall ahead of Hamilton. Norris back on the podium. Aston Martin doing well. Haas doing well. Mercedes does well in this one. Red Bull, one car team. You're +8 here, +10 here. So Ferrari gains 2 points over Red Bull in this race. Alpine, Alonso nearly getting points, and we are nowhere to be seen. Winter gets 18th and Oudekouwen is out. She DNFs, getting 21st. She was well over a second a lap faster than anything that Winter managed to do in this one. Her timing wise was good enough for 12th, and with Hulkenberg just ahead of Winter, we do not beat a team today, so we take damage. Oudekouwen had a brand new engine, brand new gearbox, and she DNFs. To make matters worse, we make a mistake on Oudekouwen's only pit stop. She was supposed to have 3 on the day, so it was relatively early in the race that her DNF occurred. 2 decent stops for Winter, though. Winter, in her first race with the engine, a little while back now, 3-4 races ago, we put it on early for Monza. She DNF'd, banged up the engine pretty good. Oudekouwen puts on a brand new engine, brand new gearbox. Gearbox is fine. The engine's at 67%. It took a 30% hit. Both of them managed to screw up the final engine that they're going to be using for the remainder of the year. And you don't have the period where you get maximum power, because the one race for each of them that they had, that they end up DNFing. That's terrible luck that we have. Now, is it on the drivers over ambitious? Well, I mean, they have good control. They're supposed to be smart drivers, quality drivers. They hardly have any incidents. I would have to chalk it up, especially not seeing it, as bad luck, but we don't know that with absolute certainty. Sao Paulo, sprint weekend. We just took the sprint, and Oudekouwen, back-to-back incidents. Now the engine's down to 35%. I just replaced a front wing, a rear wing, the underfloor, and now she has no engine to get her through to the end of the season. And I don't really think I have 5 million coming up to spare, especially after we just spent 10 million on another facility upgrade. Had we not done that, and I waited till the end of that last race weekend before making the upgrade just in case. And a week later, the worst happens and we find ourselves just about engineless with 4 races left to go and in a whole heap of trouble. Sophomore slump is for real. Things have gone really horribly for us this season. There's 3 races left. I'm grateful for it as long as we're able to keep our job. I'm ready to kind of move on to that next season. We're into a new ATR period. I haven't had the finances to do our next mega research project just yet. We do have a end of sponsor period, so I think we're about to cash in on about $5 million, and we'll get that one more time before the end of the season and one more turn of the month. But $13 million, that's all we've got coming in, plus whatever we get from the 3 races, or 4 races, including this one. We don't know what we've gotten on this one just yet. I just know that I haven't finished in the points. We're definitely in trouble. And I don't think we're going to get the car developed anywhere near where we want to or need to for the coming season. And all of the destruction of components that we just went through is leaving us really short-handed. We're going to have to use older components to finish out the season in a lot of areas. And I don't know what I'm going to do about the engine with Oedekoven. I really don't think we can afford to spend $5 million. We're going to have to suck it up for 3 races and use the best option we have, which is going to hurt the results. Fingers crossed we can keep our job. Otherwise, we're in massive trouble. So Sainz has taken the win. No surprise there. He's already wrapped up the championship. Red Bull has done this, a couple years in a row. Sainz has not been as dominant, but pretty dang close. Tsunoda, Leclerc get on the podium. A 4-5 for the Haas pair. And Kicksauber, Hulkenberg scores 2 more points for them. At least Alpine doesn't score. Gio manages to score a point as well. And Ferrari, not a great result. Only 19 points for them versus 26 for Red Bull. They're losing 7 on this one. It's close for the constructors with 3 races to go. And Oedekoven gets 17th. Venter gets 21st, so we only managed to get the 450k. Hauger DNFs. We do beat Alpine. Constructors separated by just 7 points as Red Bull closes the gap by 3. 15 wins for them this season. I want to say that Sainz has like 14. No, he has all 15 of them. Gio did not get a win. He's only had like 1 podium. What am I talking about? I forgot we did have our turn of the month into November over that race weekend. It gives me a tiny cushion right now with $3 million, but it's going to be really tight the rest of the season. We really can't afford to spend another penny to get through into next year. We're going to have to at least spend our hours and do a research project, but we're 100% done with upgrades. We can't touch the front wing, rear wing anymore. And at this point, what have we even covered? We've done 2 front wing and 1 rear wing upgrades at about 3 to 4% each, so maybe 7 and 4%, and we're only going to retain about half of what we gain, so we're really only going to pick up about 3.5% on the front wing of 16% loss with the new regulations, and we're only going to get about 3 on the rear wing out of 20 lost. And I would skip the suspension. Maybe I will skip the suspension. Maybe I'll save the suspension research for next year and do a rear wing now. Otherwise, we're going to be, I think, worse off. I'll make a decision on that here shortly. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.